Now, how to find a resultant percentage change quickly? So I have an example question here. The number is first increased by 50%, the resultant is then increased by 20%, and then further by 100%, and then further reduction by 25%. And here the final value E. The question is E is what percentage more than A? Now, there are a couple of ways of going about this. I can list maybe 3 ways of going about this. One is what we did in the previous case, just start with the number 100 because invariant. 50% more than that is 150. 20% is 1/5. 1/5 more than that would be an increase by 30, and you will end up at 180. And then 180 increase by 100% is a doubling, so you'll get 360. And a reduction by 25% or 1/4 means you have to subtract 1/4 of 360, which is 90, from the 360. You will get 270. So the number used to be 100, it has become 270. That is a 170% increase, plus 170%. This is taking advantage of the invariance and starting with any number that you want. I just took 100 because it's percentage. Now, what else can you do? You can simply just convert these numbers are all percentage more and percentage less. B is 50% more than A, C is 20% more than B, D is 100% more than C, and so on. You want to convert each of them into percentage of. B is 150% of A, C is 120% of B, D is 200% of C, and E is 75% of D. You just multiply all of this and you will get 2.7. Now that means E is 270% of A, which implies E is 170% more than A. This is what is being asked, and that is the answer, 170% more. Now this is convenient in CAD because you have a calculator, and if you're weak on your calculations, you can just throw these numbers directly into a calculator. You're basically doing +1 on every number. 50% is 0.5, +1 to convert percentage more to percentage of. You're doing that in every quantity, and you're taking the product, and then you're at the end you're subtracting 1. 2.7 minus 1 is 1.7, 170% more than A. So you add 1 to convert percentage more to percentage of, and you then subtract 1 to convert the resultant percentage of back to percentage more. That's basically the concept. Now in exams where you don't have a calculator, I don't recommend using the decimals unless you're really fast with calculating, multiplying decimal numbers. It is so much easier to just convert these into fractions. 50% more is 150% off, which is 3/2. 20% more is 120% off, which is 6/5. 2 is just 2. 0.75 is 3/4. And you cut whatever you can cut, and then you deal with it. Cut a single 2 from the 4 and a single 2 from here. You will end up with 27/10 is equal to 2.7, which will convert to plus 170%. Now this works in quant because they usually give you percentages that convert to very simple fractions. Quant questions are all about 20%, 25%, 33.3%, etc. They'll not give you 34.5%. If they do, use a calculator. But there are many instances where you will have simple fractions, and multiplying the fractions is usually very efficient and gets you the answer.